Okay, thank you, Maria. We're not waiting for Vesna, right?
No, we are free to go.
Okay, so I have been given the task to read all the methodologies together with Maria that you have submitted online, and to help you improve them. So before, so I have prepared a few questions. The final goal of these methodologies is for us to publish them, to make them available on our LMS. So before publishing them, I think we could improve them a bit more, or at least I have some questions that might be helpful for that. And before that, I would just like to know your feedback about the methodology form that we've put together that you used. We've been talking with our Slovenian colleagues this morning. They were mostly satisfied, but they said that they think that it's a surplus, it's too much to have the lesson guide step by step and the included activities with duration and motivation. As much as I can see, both of you, Vilve and Katalin, have elaborated the lesson guide step by step in as much detail as possible. You both did a great job there. Katalin, you skipped the included activities, or did a very brief description there. So I would say that I agree with you, or we've talked about this morning that maybe we would put all the details in this field, so in the included activities field, and then skip the lesson guide step by step. What are your opinions on that?
Do I understand you, Jura, correctly that the lesson guide step by step is not necessary at this moment?
Yeah, but the information that you've written there should instead be put into the included activities with duration.
Okay, I will do that. It's not a problem.
Just copy from the step by step to that other field.
Yeah, because our Slovenian partners told us that maybe the form overall is too long and includes too many details. So yeah, if you think that's a good idea, we would shorten it a little through that. And also we've agreed this morning that regarding the last field in the second part of the form, so if you have it somewhere in front of you, if not, I can share my screen.
Yeah, if possible. I have too many tabs open right now.
Okay, so the last field in the second part of the form, actually, I don't know if you notice, but the question itself is really related to some general aspects of the Erasmus Plus program about what teacher competences should a teacher have and how to strengthen them. This is typically related to teachers being competent in using technology for teaching. So we've also discussed this morning that we would actually exclude this question from the form.
Okay.
Vilve, are you okay with this? So we would just shorten it a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any other feedback regarding the forms? Do you think anything else important is missing, or that we have too many details on something that's not so important? So again, the goal of what you're doing, the goal of these methodologies is for us to make them available to other teachers, so they can use them and they can try to do the same thing. So in order for them to be able to do this, we have to supply as many details as possible and as much detail as possible, but we wouldn't want to include too many unnecessary information. So do you think anything is missing or anything should be added to the template?
Well, I just thought about it, Jura. I am speaking from my own experience that maybe we should add some kind of a little note that alternative tasks just in case that when the internet connection is not working,
Mhm.
when a teacher can't access, I don't know, Padlet wall, or the student can't access Padlet wall, what should the teacher do then? Because let's face it, our lessons never come out as we expect. We always have to be ready for uncertainty. So maybe add some kind of other field for that, alternative tasks, alternative approaches, or something like that.
Okay, that sounds good. Maria, do you agree? Can we add that to the template? Yeah. Any other ideas or anything that we should remove from the current template? Okay. If not, then we can just go in brief through the comments that are written. Katalin, you did a wonderful job here, and you really, and Vilva, you too, you elaborated the lesson plan in detail, which I think is very important for other people to understand what you've been doing and to be able to replicate it. It's not a part of the template, but we're also talking about this morning. It would be good if you would include in this course or class category some more information about what program is this a part of, or you know, which year or which semester. So teacher who would be using this knows if this is for elementary, for high school, or for college students.
Okay.
Okay, then here in this, in the unit methodology summary, Katalin, you really elaborated this very nice. So it was not expected to be a part of the template, but since you mentioned here already some time durations for some activities, I think it would be helpful if you would do the same for the other activities that you're listing. So just add that discussion lasts usually about 10 minutes or how long. Yeah. Okay, then in the assessment category, you said understanding of the written poem is assessed. Teacher has given some topics to analyze to make it simple. Could you just explain here in a sentence, does that mean that the teacher asks students directly pre-formulated questions, or is it, so do you ask one student, or is it a general discussion, or how does it look like? And similarities and difference. And probably the same is with this item. So during the lesson, similarities and differences between the literature in 20th and 21st century are addressed and assessed. So I think here you use the same form of discussion or of question posing. So just to say, well, how does it look like in a sentence? Okay. Then in the classroom physical organization, you said computer class for practical work. Does this mean you have to have a computer for every 2 students or for every student?
Okay, that is a good question, because when we use the Padlet wall, then when they analyze the poem, then each student should have their own computer to work with, because they all have their individual walls. Okay, can you just add that here, and then is it possible for them to work on their cell phones? Or of course, okay.
Okay, then you said minimum 15 students, maximum 30 students. Can you just state here if the maximum is due to didactical reasons, so because you cannot engage more students in the discussion, or is it technology or some form of technical things that you're using?
Yeah, it's for technical reasons.
Okay, then you said, okay, so as I said, the included activities with duration and motivation, we said we're going to skip that, and instead we're going to place their lesson guide step by step. You listed some files as additional unit materials. I think it would be a good idea maybe if we could include these files together with this document, with this methodology example. So are any of these that you listed interview, could you supply these or are they somehow copyright protected?
Well, the interview is from YouTube. It's from YouTube. It's totally totally. You can find it.
Okay.
Unit introduction is my own. It's my own for the. It should be in Google Drive, I think, and it is unit introduction that is for me and for my students when we start. And the Padlet wall is my own wall where the students can post their comics or memes that they think what a regular Estonian idiot should look like, or what they think that an idiotic person is. So basically, the most of it is my own.
Okay. Would you have anything against if we included your unit introduction as a document? Okay, great. And as you said, the YouTube video is available anyway, and the Padlet wall. Could you just write? I think you first mentioned it here. Could you write then just here what Padlet wall is? Where? I think it would fit well in the lesson guide step by step for any teachers not familiar with it.
Okay.
Okay, and then directing students to the poem, engaging them to read the poem out loud. I didn't understand here. They read it out loud to each other. Do they do it quiet enough so they do it all in the same time during the class, or how do you do it?
I should maybe focus. It is the teacher says who wants to read the poem step by step. He or she reads 10 lines. The other student reads another 10 lines because it is quite a long poem, so they can take turns.
Okay, I understand. Could you just add the clarification you give me now?
Okay.
And answering to some more general questions about his work and connections to modern society. Could you just comment here, or I assume you ask one student a question, or is this more a general discussion? So
it's a general discussion.
So you expect answers to the same question from more students, or
because they all have different views, so they can really listen to each other.
Okay, could you just write that, just add it here that many students present their different views?
Okay.
Okay. Then you said analyze the picked references, think about why the author has picked these references and topics selected, connect them to history. I assume this is done in the same way that you just said. So, several students comment on the same reference and why they think.
Exactly, because they all maybe haven't read the Estonian book and they don't know what Thieves Hill is or who was Karl Ernst von Baer. So also they can learn from each other like that.
Okay. Then give a short justification. Okay, now I understand everything. Just if you add you can add a comment that all discussion is performed in the way that you described. Reflection students can share their thoughts and the results of their analysis or picked references, find out similarities and differences, compare their illustrations. How do they do this?
The illustrations are on the Padlet wall. The Padlet wall is seen to everybody, and they can see what he or she has done. And the analyze is they can share, they can conclude. Okay, I heard that you said this, you said that, because how to say, we discuss. But then in the reflection section, we discuss more. What was the most memorable thing that you remember from this today's class? Because they all shared their thoughts, but everybody certainly will pick one or two things that they will remember very precisely.
Okay. Okay. Then I wanted to say just where do you have them start using the Padlet wall here?
Okay, the Padlet wall is a practical work with one poem, Regular Estonian Idiot, reading and analyzing the poem, focusing on the references that the teacher has picked out.
What references? So search and pick one. It's here. It's here. Okay, yeah, I didn't see it. Post the picture on to Padlet wall. Then just if you stress here in the reflection part that they're doing this based on the content that they've posted to Padlet wall.
Okay.
Okay, this unit is know the recent development. Okay, therefore to grow the interests. Okay, what we're thinking here was more from the methodological perspective. If there is something that you wanted to show off here regarding your teaching methods, I think so. All that you've written is good. I think you could just add here, as much as I see it, this lesson is very focused on students doing the work, so not just passively listening to information. So I think you can add here also that students, I don't know if we would say group work or individual work is the focus of this lesson. And I think that's why this is a good example, and that's why this is an important example.
Okay.
Can you just describe the methodology? Okay. Art media subjects. Also, if you could just stress here, okay, maybe it would be redundant to say that again, but since this lesson is so focused on discussion, then it's good for other courses that have different opinions or different perspectives to, for students to show. What's innovative? Okay. What did I mean here? Dismiss more modest people's calls. Okay. The voices be heard. Okay, and then yeah. So just this last item, as I said, this is more a context of the Erasmus program. So we're gonna probably eliminate that. And otherwise, this so strengthening the profile of teaching professions mostly was meant to be like teaching teachers to use ICT efficiently in their teaching. So adding this to their professional profile, ICT competence. But okay, yeah. So yeah, this was great. I can send you, if you want, and as much as I saw you took notes of what we discussed, I can send you this document with comments.
I would be very grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can, Maria will give you time frames after we discuss all the methodologies, and then you can submit the document again, the new version, to the online repository that we're using. Okay, and then Vilve, as much as I saw, you uploaded 2 methodologies.
Yes, because Anne forgot that, and as you needed 3, and I had those 2, then I put those 2 there.
Okay. Yeah, you included the information, so it's second year. It reminds me, it is a high school, or it's a
they are after secondary education. They are grown-up students.
Okay, so if you can just please add any such information here. So we did not include it originally in the template, but I think it's useful.
Okay.
I think you have some duplication here. I think the word information was repeating a bit more than it should have. So what you described here is what they learn. If you could just add a sentence here about how they learn it in this lesson. They learn it through discussion, they learn it through practical examples, or lecturing. Okay, the tags are okay. I've just removed the elements from the template here. relevant to the work. If you can, it would be great if you could add here some examples of what they will do wrong if they don't know this.
Okay.
Ideally, it's real life examples. If not real life examples, then from the course that you're teaching. So what other course elements will they misunderstand or perform badly in if they don't know this lesson? Okay, then you have the physical classroom. Organization computer class where the students were in rows and everyone could use a computer with their internet connection. Does it have to be a computer, or can it be a smartphone or another device?
This can be a smartphone.
Okay, so if you can just add that here.
That last time I mentioned here that 2 students take part via webcast. So,
okay, so we will try to make these examples as general as possible. So instead of saying 2 students, you can say up to 5 students or up to 10 students, or how many do you think can take part in the lesson via Zoom?
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can define the maximum number, yeah, as it fits for your lecture. Okay, the lesson was attended by 20 students, conversation individually, into groups for discussion. Can you add just here the maximal number of students? So it was 20 students. How many do you think you could support directly? And how many would have to be split into groups for discussion? Okay, then we said, yeah, this is what we're going to remove. There's just a summary of what you elaborated here. Additional materials. So the same question as for Kathleen, can we supply the introductory questionnaire? Can we add it to this?
Yes, this is mine.
The game is available
this is made by me.
Is it accessible for everyone?
Yes, it is accessible, but it is in Estonian.
Yeah, I remember now. I tried it, but I wasn't very good at it. Okay, and then interactive presentation in the Zeetings. This is also, is this a custom? This is the presentation that you use for this lecture, right?
Yeah.
Would you mind if we download it and then supplied it with this?
No problem.
Okay, great. Okay, and then here you have the detailed step-by-step guide. I just wanted to ask, what did you mean by interactive presentation? Does it mean that?
Okay, maybe it's conversation or discussion is a little bit better to say, because this is not as lecture as I presenting, and they are writing, but on every slide we have discussion. Because I mentioned that the interactive presentation, but it's more like a discussion with slides or something.
Presentation. Yeah, okay, I'll write here a presentation with discussions, and then you can change it to that, or if you find something better. Okay, and then here, why is this selected? First meeting with okay, students had to participate online, but can we say here that it was chosen because it's another example of a unit with extensive discussion? So this was certainly the context that you described, but if we're about to use it generally, then yeah, we wouldn't necessarily state the COVID context, but just that this is a example of so this would be, as a methodology, this would be a good example of a unit which contains presentation and intensive discussion with students. If you agree with this, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, can it be applied to other courses? Okay, they can answer questions. Theoretical topics, could you be more specific here? Could you try to list either courses or other units in your course that have the same approach?
Okay.
So which are good for discussion. Okay. Yeah, maybe not so innovative, but using various online tools. Yeah, Google Forms can be done in classroom. Okay, and then here you can again write. So not that two students had taken part in the lesson online, but that up to students can participate.
Participate online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then again, as I said, this is what we're going to remove. Yeah. Okay, I like this. I like the very detailed elaboration in the lesson guide step by step. I think this is important for people who will be reading this, that they understand what exactly are you doing, and then you can change something if you feel confident.
Okay.
Okay, and then you uploaded another example. Second course of vocational education students.
Maybe I should put here their age.
Yeah. I think yeah.
Because those students are after 9th year, they are approximately 16, 17 years old.
Yeah, that would be good. Okay, the unit and methodology summary. Here again, this is what they learn, and then you can add very brief information on how did they learn, using mathematical tasks or assessment tasks or example provided by the lecturer or whatever. Then significance, again, you say help to understand mathematical background of some real life problems. If you can just give an example or two of those real life problems, I think that would be helpful here. And again, yeah, real life examples, I think this would be helpful for people reading this. Okay, the assessment, no assessment, this is an introductory lesson, okay. Okay, maximal and minimal support number of students 10 to 30. And then again, this is a short version of the full lesson plan. We have a YouTube video, yeah, Mentimeter, Google Docs, Answer Garden. Okay, and I think the rest of this was great. Active involvement, facilitation of discussing real examples. Yeah. Okay, that's it regarding my comments. So as I said, I'm gonna send you the thing, my comments in the documents, the things we were talking about, and Maria is gonna give you the deadlines to correct them.
Okay.
And that's all for me. Maria.
Thank you, Juraj. And that's all for me too. As we promised, it will be only half an hour, 45 minutes. So we discussed the main things for today. So thank you very much for joining us, and have a pleasant day, have a good weekend, and of course, Kathleen, have a good trip, and stay safe, take care, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, and thank you, Jura, for the feedback. It was very helpful.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.